Hey everyone! Today we're diving into something that has become increasingly challenging in our hyper-connected, always scrolling world, being present. How many times have you found yourself physically being somewhere, but mentally being like 1,000 miles away? Let's change that today. Before we jump into the strategies, let's focus for a minute on why being present is so crucial. When you're truly present, you experience life more deeply. You reduce anxiety and stress. We all need help with that. You improve your relationships, enhance your mental well-being and overall well-being, and boost your productivity and focus. I'm going to give you 5 practical strategies that will help you become more present. Okay, so the first of the 5 strategies is morning mindfulness ritual. What you want to do is start your day with an intention. When you immediately, and I know this is what everybody says, but it's said for a reason. Instead of immediately reaching for your phone the moment you wake up, try this instead. Take 3 deep breaths, set a simple intention for the day. If you can, enjoy your morning beverage without distraction. And when you're doing that, any of those things, you can notice or pay attention to the sensations, the temperature, the flavors, is your coffee, tea, whatever. A second one is going to be a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. And that is when you feel your mind wandering, this is a sensory way to ground yourself. 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. It will instantly help bring you back to the present moment. Number 3, this one is going to probably feel wrong or confusing. Number 3, single tasking revolution. Multitasking is sort of a myth. It fragments your attention and reduces your effectiveness. This one is really hard for me to wrap my head around as someone with ADHD. I feel like I'm very scattered and I have a million different things in a million different pots. And sometimes I can still find myself getting overwhelmed with having too many things going on. But this is because there's different ways you can understand this. This is more about when you are actively working on something. Like I'm doing this video right now, so I'm trying to be more present and recording on this. Trying to be more present with recording this and not thinking about all of the other things that I want to continue to get done today because I've already gotten quite a few things done, and then I had to rest for a minute and give myself time in between activities. But instead of doing a million things at once or multitasking a lot of things at one time, try to focus on one task at a time. Focus on, if you're cooking dinner, just try and do your best to focus on just cooking dinner, cutting it. Each step that you're doing, try to be as present with each step as you can. Create dedicated time blocks for specific activities, especially if you feel like there's a lot you need to get done in a certain amount of time. I'm applying this to my life as well, and it's been pretty helpful. Put your phone on do not disturb. If you feel like there's people you need to let know, just give a heads up, but put it on do not disturb so you can try and just focus on whatever it is you need to do. And that could even be just not talking to anyone or anything or scrolling, just taking a break and being here in the moment. I like to color, I like to paint, so I love putting my phone away. And just really try to give your full attention in anything that you're doing. Number 4, could you be mindful of your technology use? Technology can be a major presence killer. Here is how you can reclaim your attention. Set aside specific times of day to check your emails or social media or whatever it is that you need to be following up on. Use app blockers during focused work or personal time. Create phone-free zones in your home if you can. Some people do the dinner table. We used to do that growing up when phones started, when we started getting phones, it was no phones at the dinner table. Turn off non-essential notifications. That is something that has been, there are no words to put, that I can put to how monumental that has been helpful for me, because I just am someone who usually if I get a message, I feel like I need to respond right away, but I don't. You don't. I'm still working on this. You don't need to. We don't need to respond right that second every single time, no matter what. Let it go. You'll get to it when you get to it. Obviously, if there's things that are a priority, that's a little bit different, but this is for the most part, yeah, not everything requires an immediate response. And then this one's I feel like it's hard for me, but it is very helpful. And that is practicing like a digital sunset. No phone or TV 1 to 2 hours before you're going to go to bed. No screens. I know. And for your 5th tip, daily meditation and breathing exercises. You don't need hours, even 5 to 10 minutes can transform your awareness. I love YouTube. I love it. There are so many videos, and I'm actually looking at starting that myself as well to make them, because it's just been so monumental for me. But there are apps like Headspace or Calm. You can try guided meditations. That's what I kind of started with, because I'm a little squirrely in the brain and I need help staying focused on the task at hand. And it's so funny because the journey through that, I started with being like, okay, I have to listen to everything they're saying and pay so much attention, but it's like, I did do that, it's my journey. So I did start with that, and it helped me kind of escape out of my brain to like listen to someone else. And now when I listen, I'm more able to like listen to what they're saying, but it's essentially learning to just let your thoughts kind of float by and not attaching to every single one or reacting. Yeah, meditation is amazing. Once you can get control of your mind, it's over. It's over, okay? You can practice box breathing or different kinds of breathing. Box breathing is 4 seconds in, 4 seconds you hold it, 4 seconds out, and 4 seconds you hold, like without breathing back in again. There are a few other that I like. One I do personally a lot when I feel really over stimulated or stressed out or nervous or anxious, is one that it's a form my brother-in-law sent me a video, and it's you inhale all the way in and then do an extra, hold it, and then like breathe out but make noise until it's like empty. Sit for a second, and then you do that 3 times. And I will do that a lot of times in bed when I'm like, I can't calm down my brain, even after meditations, because I just get very hyper. But yeah, there's different types of breathing methods you can do. With the box breathing, I know does help a lot of people. I use it from time to time, but that other one, for me personally, has been really, really helpful. And this one is a really good idea, doing a body scan meditation before bed, or even while you're in bed. There's also something called Yoga Nidra, which I've found to be beyond helpful. And they're 5-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute. So even when I'm at work, I will find a quiet room when I can and do a 5 or 10-minute one, or a 15-minute one if I'm like using my flow break for it. But if sometimes I feel like I'm like, I can only give 5 minutes. Another little thing you could try to say to yourself, because it is kind of hard to break the habit of going to your phone for everything, just scroll-wise, is if I have time to scroll, I have time to meditate. If you have time to sit here and just mindlessly on your phone, you have time to do any other thing that you're working on. I know that's not what you want to hear, but you do. You have to tell yourself that and just continue to push that. Because really you're just being supportive of yourself and what you want, and being more present and actually experiencing life, the good and the bad, ups and downs, like they're all always going to be here. A couple little bonus things are, and I mentioned this in one of my other videos, is gratitude journaling, taking nature walks with your phone, another thing I mentioned. Try to work on engaging in active listening when you are having conversations with other people. We could all benefit a little bit more from actively listening, not necessarily always listening to respond, but just listening to each other. And then do random acts of mindfulness, like savoring a meal. I do when I make something that's really, really, really good, and it's something I'm excited for, and I've worked really hard because I used to dread cooking and making meals for myself. But like with anything, I have a lot of health issues, and I have had to really learn a lot for myself because doctors were not helpful. I've tried multiple different medications and stuff, and I'm just apparently very sensitive to them. And then, there's just a lot. So I've done so much work for myself and changed how I eat, and I kind of have no choice but to cook for myself every meal, all the time. I have obviously little hacks because I don't always have energy. So I have little hacks and stuff. But I essentially took a lot of time to find a way to make cooking fun for me. So most of the time I will put on some sort of music, just set a vibe. I don't think we do that enough. We're so quick to be like, we gotta get everything done. But it's like, if you just take a minute to make something fun or to really appreciate what you're doing. So then once you do get through the meal, however you want to make it, even if you're going to get something, just take a minute and just like smell the food, look at it. And then when you go to taste it, just really savor each bite. It's like almost like romanticizing your life in a way, which we also could all use. And I do want to say, being present is a skill. It's just a muscle that we have to expand in our brain. That is what any part of healing, changing, evolving, growing, whatever word you want to use, that is what it's all about, is expanding the muscles in your brain. So it is a workout. It's going to feel hard. You're going to feel resistant because we are not built as humans to... Our nervous systems and everything are wired for safety and comfort. So they're not necessary. When we are in a state, in a place that we've always been like this, and one day we're like, you know what, I'm tired of feeling like this. I want to do something different. Well, you feel empowered, but you also can feel scared. And the only person that can really make you change or do anything is you. You have to, one, want it bad enough, and two, just really, I think, truly be either sick of where you are or so aware that you just don't want to be like someone else. Everyone has a different motivator. Those are just a couple that I know of personally, and I know other people have experienced as well. But we're worth it. You're worth it. You are worth putting in the effort to want better for yourself, regardless of what anyone has ever said to you, told you, anything. So being present is a skill. It takes practice, patience, persistence. And here's a big tip: don't beat yourself up if you get distracted. Just gently bring your attention back. Or if you say you forgot to do something, it's not... Consistency is more important than trying to get it perfectly right every day. It's just about trying to add in this new habit and this new skill and nurturing that in a way that you would nurture like a kid. Because that's essentially what we are. We are all just reparenting and nurturing ourselves in ways. And even if you didn't have a tumultuous childhood or life or upbringing, you feel like you shouldn't feel the way you feel about whatever, doesn't mean there's anything wrong. We all do. Parents, adults, kids, we all do the best with what we know at the time of whatever is happening. And then we don't, if you don't go and learn things for yourself, which a lot of people didn't, then you just continue like a cycle. So if you're doing any of this, trying to change, work on yourself, feel better, be proud of yourself. That is so hard and that takes so much strength. And just remember, life happens in the moment. Don't miss it scrolling, worrying, or living in your head. If you found this helpful, smash that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment on which strategy you're most excited to try. See you in the next video. Stay present. Come here. Hi. Hello, girl. Say hello. Say hi, everybody.